Hello everyone, Steven here with SG Saber Design, and today I've got another V2 on the table. This one is an Anakin Starkiller / TXQ Luke V2. This one originally came installed with a SNv4 Pro, but the owner, and I'm not sure if I'm going to get the name right here. Lala, I believe is his name. I don't know if that's how it's pronounced. I'm not great with things like that. But he sent this to me because he wanted to spruce it up a bit. I've done this to my Luke V2 from Anakin Starkiller. Mine was a Profi. He decided he wanted to stay with his SNv4 Pro, but he wanted something a bit nicer on the inside. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we've done here. I left the emitter. It's not a bad emitter. It's got what, 2, 4, 8 could be eight or more LEDs in there. So that was fine. I have Loctited this section here. This you do not want to take off. You can take this piece off and put on the display emitter. But right now, since we're going to do some testing, we've got the blade emitter. So this one comes apart when you get it. It comes apart here, 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 and here. And I think it actually comes apart here if you take that off. You can kind of clock it. So it does not come apart here like a lot of them do. So if you've got a crystal reveal inside, it's a little more difficult to show. But this one I've come up with a kind of a workaround. We have our power button here, aux button here, sound venting down here through the Anakin Starkiller vent. So there's two ways that we can open this up. The first one, we're going to just take off this little piece of the cap on the pommel, and there is a tiny little spacer wedged in there just to kind of hold the speaker from hitting the back. And then you're going to just kind of pull on the thing and it slides out. And here we have our new chassis with our SNv4 Pro board. You get to the card, no problem. And we have a crystal chamber. Got a Smuggler's Outpost 6 rail PCB here, another one up in here. Let me see if I can show you this. I don't think you're going to be able to see any of this. But on the inside, because we got our switches right here, yeah, I can't even see it in here. I should bring a flashlight sometime when I do this. But there is a, I've printed a little plastic wire channel that goes from here up to here. And then it connects to the wires that go to both the emitter and a 6 rail PCB that connects to this for the switches and the LEDs. So when you slide it in, this flat side always has to go towards your switch, your control box. Other than that, it's fairly relatively easy to use. I did add a activation button and an aux button on the chassis so that you can cycle through your fonts and still view the crystal here. So let's go ahead and we've got a 28mm bass speaker in here now. So spring side is your negative. I did put a little plus sign, and there's a negative sign which you can't hardly see because it's kind of behind the spring. But this is the speaker, or the battery that came with it. And it will work totally fine, but if you want, you can now also use a full-sized protected cell 18650 with a button top as well. That will fit perfectly fine in here now. So we put that in.
Power up.
There we go. Sometimes with these SN boards or even the XenoPixel, sometimes you have to take that battery on and off a couple times before it realizes it's there. So like I said, we got an activation button here. We have
Power on.
hold that to turn it on, and I do not know SN very well. I think I have one saber with an SNv4 to my name, but the rest of mine are all Profi. So I don't know how to do a lot of the stuff on this, but I'm pretty sure he already knows how to use it. So let's go ahead and we can go through. You see that crystal light up in there? And then we can cycle through.
The dark saber, it belongs to you. You better get on with your exercises.
Got a lot of fonts on here that I'm not familiar with. So let's go ahead and put this in, and I'll show you what it can do. Okay, we need to put this on first, because if you look in here, there is a lip, so this has to go in. So if you want, this can go in first. Put that on, not tight though. Then slide this in the flat spot towards your switch box, and then you can twist that. So if you if you wanted to, you can just take this off and kind of show off your crystal chamber like that. But let's go ahead and put this in, and we can. So once that is on there, then we want to tighten this down. The reason being you don't want to tighten it beforehand is if you tighten that up, it's putting pressure on it, and that pressure will stop it from spinning inside here, because it can't spin inside this section. So once again, we have our power here. Let me give that a little push. Make sure we're connected. There we go. Sometimes they just don't wake up right. Let me go ahead and put in my test blade here. Now, this is a thin neck, but it actually seems to hold pretty well. There are 4 set screws, and it uses a 1.5 hex. I'm just going to do just the 2 opposing. Normally I wouldn't do that, but I don't want to tighten all 4. But if you're going to, well, yeah, it's kind of wobbly, so let's go ahead and just tighten up all 4 of them real quick. And I am not sure how you do the volume on SNv4, so it's going to be a little bit loud here. Like we got a Vader. Sounds pretty good. I'm a very much a Profi person, but
at last we will have revenge.
The blade effects and the sounds on this one are pretty good, so I'm not gonna say anything bad about SNv4.
Master Yoda.
Darth Sidious.
I am a Jedi, like
Here
my
we go.
father before me.
Here we got Luke is green. I think this does have twist on. Yep.
Saber.
That sounds fabulous. Might have to figure out what some of these sound fonts all came from the customer on his board already. So pretty sure that's a grayscale.
Sokatano.
Balan Skull.
Mercenary.
That is definitely a grayscale. Not the typical blade style for that one.
Just a simple wanderer.
Now this is pod racing.
Morgan Elspeth.
Crispity.
That's a good one from grayscale as well.
He's no good to me dead.
I think we're back to the beginning. Yep. SNv4 Pro. They have definitely kicked it up a notch. This is a respectable saber. Like I said, I still prefer Profi with what I can do with it. I know how to program and use it. But I believe this has either Bluetooth or Wi-Fi or some sort of connectivity. I see the antenna here on the board, but to the owner, it was a privilege to work on this. Like I said, all I did for this one was update from my version, which had a Profi board right here and a kill switch over here, to this big opening for the SNv4 Pro with a nice little cutout for the SD card to come out easily. Your board is a little bit of E6000 in, so if it needs to come out, it will. You just have to kind of get something thin under there and pull up, and it's kind of just basically a rubber cement type thing in there. But it was a good chance when I did this before on mine, I was pretty, I had gotten everything done when I realized that I really should have added some buttons on the side on the chassis itself so that I could cycle through my fonts on and show the crystal working without having it inside the saber. So give me a good chance to update it. So there we have it. To the owner, if you have any questions, please let me know. But it should work pretty much exactly the way it did before. It's going to sound a lot better. This is a 28mm speaker versus the little 24 that was in there. And now it's, instead of just an empty hole up here, you've got a beautiful crystal up there. Found a really nice crystal. It's got a lot of cloudiness and not cracks, but the kind of stuff that really looks good when you put a light under it. So I hope you enjoy it. And to everyone else out there, if you have any needs for installs or even just a chassis design, please hit me up. And we'll talk to you all later. Everyone, may the force be with you.